Alright, we're going to look at completing the square, which means we're going to try and turn these polynomials into something of this form. X plus or minus something squared. Alright, now, that entirely depends on the c value. There's some value that this needs to be in order to complete the square. The question is, what is that? And the reason why that matters is because let's imagine that we put a, let's see, a 3 here. This does not factor to be anything squared. That factors to be x plus 1 times x plus 3, which factors, but it's not a perfect square polynomial. Alright, so to complete the square, we have to look at the area model. So let's take a look at the area model for this particular polynomial. The question is, we have x plus or minus something, so we don't know what goes here or here. But what we do know is that this is supposed to be a square. And for that reason, these two things will be half of this center term here. Alright? This is x squared. Together these have to add up to be 4x, because that's our center term here. Which means this must be 2, that must be 2, and the number that completes this square must be 4. So that should be 4, and what completes the square is half of this center term. Okay, so let's take a look at the other two. They actually work exactly the same way, so let's set up a square. Alright, so we want to find out what square this will be. So this is x and x. That makes this x squared term. Alright, now we have a negative 6x, and since we need a square, these have to be the same. Oops, I put in the wrong number. So that's x squared. This needs to be negative 3x and negative 3x, because those two things together make up this negative 6x. And the question is, what is this? Alright, what value is that? Alright, so this has to be negative 3, because the area of this square is negative 3x, and this side is x, so therefore this side must be 3. The product of negative 3 and negative 3 make 9. So to complete this square, we need to put in a 9 here, which will make this into x minus 3 squared. Alright? So yeah, these are the products. These are the factors. A couple things to notice so far, and that is that the third term is always 1/2 the second term squared. So half of this will be 2.5. Squared will be 6.25, if memory serves. I mean, we'll check in a minute to be sure. And the square term will always be the center half of the center term, so it's 2 plus x plus 2.5. Now I could be wrong. I could have done a bad calculation, but let's do that. We get a square. And this is going to be x, so that's x squared. These each have to be half of that, so that's 2.5x, which makes this 2.5, and that 2.5. And the product of 2.5 and 2.5 is what? Let's find out. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. That's 10. That's 12. 2 times 25 is going to be 500. So 5, 2, 6. We have 2 decimal places, so the decimal goes here. So that is 6.25. Alright, so to complete the square, we first have b, not half b, have b, the center term of the 3 terms. So have b, then square, and that completes the square. Okay, the factors will be half b. Alright, so if we take half the b term and square it, we get the c term, and the factors are going to be the half amount. Alright, so the half amount is the factor amount, and the squared amount is the completion amount. So let's take a look at another example. Alright, I'm just trying to erase everything at once. Alright, that's most of it. That's more. Okay. Let's pick something at random. I'm just going to pretend I'm going to make 3x squared plus 6x minus 4. That's probably not a good idea. Let's just take this out. Oops. So this is not a square polynomial because 1/2 of 6 is 3, and this is not, and 3 squared should go here, so this should be 9. So we sometimes do this. We do x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 9 minus 4, completing the square, but leaving us with this little extra piece here. So this is x squared, well, not x squared, x plus 3 squared minus 13. Alright, so this is what we do with this sometimes. Alright. That pretty much covers completing the square for what we're doing today. We're really just going to look for the number that completes the square. This idea of adding it and subtracting it, because we're not allowed to just add things, we'll talk about more later.